Hi, and welcome to Chronicles of Yarnia, the podcast from Montclair's local yarn store. Remember to like us and subscribe under Kathleen over there.
Down here.
I'm Jen.
Click the bell.
Amanda.
Kathleen.
And we remember to say it at the top this time.
Yay.
By we, that's royal win.
By we, that would be me. Yes, I am the royal win. Be far better royalty than what you got right now. Anyway,
and what number are we on?
Oh,
I bet
you know.
You know. This
You
one
totally
you can totally
21.
figure out.
Yes.
Yes.
okay. I had to think though.
Because the last one was 20. Last one was
Yeah.
20 and 2020.
Next time it's gonna.
It's going to be a slow downhill progression for me.
It really will. It will be a very
Hopefully.
slow downhill progression. Anyway, we're gonna dive right into what's happening around town.
Yes.
Just because
Because we are in a time crunch
we are
today.
in a
Yes.
time crunch.
As
The
opposed to
store
last
opens
time.
in 45 minutes, and we really need to be done by then.
Last time we took our time. It was very
we were very
leisurely.
relaxed.
This time we're like
On the clock.
Yep.
on
the clock.
track.
Which is going to make editing easier for me.
That's right.
Theoretically, she thinks
Maybe
that.
we'll be so good that you won't need to edit this week.
That does not happen. I still have to put in all the pictures and
I
all
know,
the
that's
words.
true.
I know
That's
you gotta
true.
you gotta
There's
fold
all-
things in.
Yeah.
That's good.
Words are there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Weren't here.
Well, actually, one of my favorite things about the last podcast, if I can just say, and I would love for other people to chime in, how we totally lost count within about 5 items.
Oh my God. I had a tally on my paper. I will just say I had a tally on my paper, and it
I was
still
so
didn't help
amused.
us.
Well, you know, isn't that
Still
like
didn't
though
help
when you count off your rows, like if you're doing something, I know I need to do 15 rows on my sweater before
Yeah.
I go onto the lace, and I'm like, did I check that off? Or
Oh.
not? Did I check
Do I
that
do it
off?
at the beginning or do I do it at the end?
All the time.
Yeah.
All the time.
Yeah.
So I think it was that kind of issue.
I'm
probably
still on the 9th row? How is
You're
this
like,
still the 9th
This is like
row?
my 8th count row.
I know. That's all the
I've been doing
time.
this for hours.
Yeah.
No, it's bad.
So,
But
but if you have not yet seen podcast 20, watch it. I hope you'll find it as amusing as I did.
yeah, I will say I really did have a tally going.
I know.
But then the other question is it patterns mentioned? Because there were multiple
No, I think
instances of
projects.
the same pattern or project.
I totally did project.
because
Yeah,
we said
I
projects.
two,
didn't count some of yours.
but I was counting patterns.
But
Because
yeah.
we had said patterns at the top of the anyway.
we would have had a little
Anyway.
problem with patterns.
Yeah.
So
I get
fixed
very
it.
rigid.
And actually, as we're talking about this, I am checking off the 2 rows that I knit this morning, which
There
I
you
didn't
go.
check off yet.
There you go.
So
There you
now
go.
I have.
Now you don't have to
I'm
go back.
closer to my 15.
So anyway, we're going into what's happening around town, which Amanda remembered. The Montclair Literary Festival has started. I can't remember what the start date is, and maybe by the time you see this, it's
No.
started? No?
It's
No, it's
actually
March.
later. It's
March,
March.
like 23rd or something. But the
They're having
reason that
some-
I noticed today is because they're having some preview events or
Pre-events,
pre-events.
yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, I noticed because I'm super excited that Malcolm Gladwell is coming to town, and he's like
Enjoyed
my
several of his books.
economics
Yeah,
major. Wish I could have been a behavioral economist, sort of icon. I can't wait. So I'm gonna go see him.
that's fun.
His event is next Thursday, February 6th, 7 to 8. But there's
It's probably sold out by now.
It's not because I got my tickets this morning.
Are you kidding? Wow.
By the time you see this, it may or may not be sold out.
True.
Yeah.
We don't know.
But yeah, there's lots of events.
There's
It's
lots of
totally
events.
And they do a
I-
ton of stuff.
I don't know
another
whether
economist, Paul Krugman's coming at the end of the festival. Yes, this is just
Wow.
like an
It's like an
it's
economist festival
and
for
they
Amanda.
had Isabel Allende last week, I think.
Yes.
And also Janine Cummins, who wrote American Dirt, is lined
wow.
up soon. And actually, my book group is talking about that book tonight. It'll
That's
be
going to be an interesting. I wonder if that event will continue.
interesting.
They're canceling a lot of her events.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Interesting.
Oh, yeah.
Interesting.
A lot of events are. It depends on where it is in bookstores and booksellers versus.
If you
additional
don't read
things.
as much as Jen and Kathleen do,
Ironically, I don't really read adult fiction.
but
I listen.
to find out
I
what
don't
you're
actually
talking
read
about,
any
go
word things. I
go
listen to word things.
somewhere else.
Yeah.
YA, narrative nonfiction. There we go.
Oh, okay.
It's my thing.
And I mostly
Insurance
listen
regulations.
to what my book group has picked.
Economist!
I like Malcolm Gladwell too. Though.
I'm totally reading his new book.
Yeah, I almost got that one.
Yeah.
All right.
Our next thing is I have Anderson Park, and I can't read the rest of it because Kathleen wrote it.
Yeah, sorry, I scribbled. Anderson Park. What did I say?
it's-
Short story contest.
Yeah.
Oh,
For middle
so-
schoolers.
Yeah, so I will read to you. When I was in Anderson
Kathleen
Park
has the
the other
flyer.
day, I took a picture of the flyer, and they do some really neat things. Friends of Anderson Park, which is one of our great parks in town, and right now they're having a contest for middle schoolers.
That's
to
6th, 7th, 8th grade.
Yep, to write an essay, 500 to 2,500 words. Somehow Anderson Park has to factor into their story, which makes sense since they're sponsoring the contest. And winners will each receive $75 and be invited to a reading and reception at Watch Young Booksellers in March.
That's awesome.
So
I've heard a lot of stories from my middle schoolers about Anderson Park. None of which should be repeated.
maybe not fiction stories.
No.
Maybe that slots into the narrative nonfiction category.
Yeah, exactly.
The thing I realized too, though,
So
is
my
that
friend said.
I don't even know any middle schoolers anymore. They're all high schoolers now. And
I know,
even
mine's an
your
elementary
third
schooler.
daughter is a...
Yeah, I have no middle schoolers. I have elementary schoolers, I have high schoolers, I have college, but no middle school this year.
So,
But they have friends.
All elementary.
Yeah.
So if you know a middle schooler,
you know a middle
in
schooler
Montclair.
who likes to write, in Montclair, or who goes to Anderson Park in Montclair. At the south end of the park, near the restrooms, there is a bulletin board where they always have events and things posted.
That's so cool.
Check that out. And
that's awesome.
Yeah, the submissions are due by February 15th, so there's a little bit of time.
Yeah,
that's not
some
too
time.
2
bad.
weeks.
Short deadlines are the best
short
sometimes.
stories, short writing.
Let's be honest. If you knew about this in December, you'd wait till the last 2 weeks
do it
anyway.
Right.
So
especially if
timing.
you're in 6th grade.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
You'd be
even
like,
8th grade.
I've got
Even 8th grade.
ages.
Oh yeah.
Ages.
All right.
So let's move on to finished objects.
Yeah, we're moving on fast.
We are moving on fast. It's also January and February. There's not much going on.
I'm super excited about my going on.
Amanda's got stuff going on. I don't. I only have a couple of finished objects. First, I'll talk about this shawl because this is it's several years old, so it's not super recently
It is
finished.
a finished object, though.
Yeah. What
totally
was the
qualifies.
pattern? It's Sylvia McFadden.
I wrote it down.
Thank you.
And you read
Oh,
you
the
can
rain
read it.
outside. I have a hard time reading
My writing
some
is not that bad. When I'm fast, though, I'm really
When
sloppy.
you're fast,
When I'm fast,
but it's the same thing. I can hardly read my own writing when I write fast,
me
and
too.
so I'm
Me
just
too.
like,
I'm like, what did I say?
What am I doing?
The best is grocery lists when you write fast. Like you're in the grocery
and I'm
store.
I think it says milk, but it kind of says milk, and you're like, close enough.
It must be that. What
I'm gonna get milk anyway, and we'll see. So this is The Rain Outside by Sylvia McFadden, soft sweater, and I did this ages ago. It's a 2-color garter-based shawl with lace short rows
Lace
inset.
inserts, yeah, really pretty.
Sylvia McFadden did several of these, right?
She did. Waiting for Rain. After the Rain.
I think there's an After the Rain.
That's the one with the watery, scoopy thing.
Yes.
Like the wavy ones. I like
They're
that
wavy ones, and this one is a little bit more geometric, and it has a yarn over eyelet picot border.
Very pretty.
And I love it
nice.
because it's massive. I can't remember what I knitted in. I'm sure I wrote it down somewhere.
What
but
weight
it was
is it?
4 years ago.
Is that
Fingering,
DK? Oh, is that
fingering or
It's a
fingering or
fingering that
sport.
bloomed, probably.
I think it's a fingering that bloomed.
I think most of those were written for fingering.
Yeah, it's
right?
like a heavy.
yeah.
It's like a heavy fingering.
Yeah, this looks like Tosh sock would look really nice.
Yeah, Tosh sock would look really nice. The knitted wit would look really pretty. You could do a really nice contrast for the little lace bits.
A little bit bulkier fingerings.
I have,
Yeah.
in my queued bin, I have a Waiting for Rain with 3 colors.
I like it.
Maybe someday I'll make it, we'll
it's-
see.
I made that. That
Such
was
a
like
nice-
I know,
one of my
I
first
remember.
big shawls.
Well,
Yeah.
that was when I really was first meeting you two.
Yeah.
You had,
Yeah.
probably one of Jen's, I think you said, inspired yours.
yeah,
and then,
Jen inspired mine.
Yeah.
It's so cool.
And I was inspired by both of you, and I got all the yarn, and
Well, you have to do it turquoise
And then you're
because
sitting
mine
there.
is turquoise and Jen's
That's true.
Oh,
turquoise.
I definitely have
Yours
some
is turquoise
turquoises.
with like a pop of pink and purple, right?
It's red and black.
Red and black.
And white. Yeah, which
Mine
that
is-
was the mistake because I used
the lace,
variegated
the
on the
multi-
contrast,
yeah,
and you
yeah.
can't really see the lace, but that's okay. It looks cool when it's all wrapped up.
I've got like turquoise and purple and lime.
Oh,
Ooh,
real cool.
Actually,
nice.
it will.
Yeah.
Oh, someday we'll wear it. I remember getting the lime when I went to see Vine at a trunk show at another yarn store in New Jersey
nice.
before we existed. I think it was
Oh,
when we
yeah.
were getting ready to open.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's fun. I
You and me
like
and
the
Chanel.
pattern.
Yeah,
What-
that's right.
And my
On
daughter
one
Beth.
of your daughter's birthdays, right? It was Beth's birthday. Yeah, that's right. That was exactly what we were getting ready to open.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the pattern because it's a lot of garter, so it's a lot of mindless, and then you're like,
That's
all right,
nice.
short row lace pattern. I'm gonna focus.
But it
and
takes
then
an
it's done.
evening to do the short row.
Yeah, if that.
which is a nice, like, hey, I have a treat today.
I know, you're like, ooh, it's a little exciting, or I'm a little bored, I'm going to get to this part.
And then also, like, the rest of it, the garter is easy social knitting. Like, you don't have to pay attention so much. That's a good project. All right.
The other finished object I have, I don't actually have in my hands anymore. We talked about it a little bit last podcast where I said I was going to make a hat for my dad out of the Ocean Kelborn Woolens Lucky Tweed. And I did, and I was like,
it's going to be here. Are you going to take a picture? It's going to
be here. I'm going to take a picture. I'm going to have my mom take a picture of my dad, which will be really interesting to see what shows up. Good luck, Amanda. We'll see how long it takes me to get her to text it to me, because, you know, she can text, and she will text.
It's got 48 hours.
It just takes like 5 days.
That's right.
Yeah, I'll nudge her. So I was thinking about doing it stockinette, and then I was like, you know what? The tweed looks so nice when it's cabled. So I did an antler cable and then a 2/2 cable. And it took a little bit of math to figure out, like, how it would actually work out. So it took a little bit of time. But I did it. I gave it to him for his birthday, belated. Yeah. And he's wearing it.
For bed?
Layered. Now he's wearing 2 at a time.
Oh my goodness.
2 at a time.
2 at a time.
Turn up the heat.
That's I want a picture of that.
Oh, yeah. Really. The nice thing is my mom won't let him wear 2 at a time where both of them show. So he's wearing like a thinner scout one underneath, and then he pulls on the heavier one, and she's hilarious. Like yanking on it. So there's no like, it doesn't look like
visible.
It's tipped.
Yeah.
I'm like, do you want me to just make you a 2-layer hat?
Yeah, right.
And she's like, don't encourage him. Stop encouraging him. She's like, don't. I was like, just turn up the heat in the house. It's not that cold.
Oh, boy.
Anyway, that's all I got.
Yeah. Well, I'll talk about my hat because I used your notes to make Eric's. I think
pretty.
I told you guys about the colors that Eric picked out.
Yes.
His crayon
colors.
His crayon colors.
Totally.
Yeah. So he came in and out of everything in the store, he picked out
Germantown.
Germantown.
That was during your total Germantown phase.
Yes. Yeah, so he picked out Germantown, and I used Jen's hat recipe.
Yep.
And made him a hat. It has a folded
I love the folded brim.
I love the brim.
I have one like that I was supposed to do this winter, and it just has not. It keeps getting things put on top of it in the queue. Yeah.
Well, I started this on like Saturday and finished it on Sunday morning. It's super fast. Right? It's super fast. But yeah, it was. We went to the city on the Sunday school holiday, and it was sort of chilly, and I was like, "Kid needs a hat," so I made a hat, and he loves it. And he's mad that I wouldn't let him wear it today because I was like, "Mommy needs it to podcast.
I need it to show."
You're like, don't you know? I need show and tell,
right?
Mommy needs show and tell.
It's only one day.
But yeah, it keeps his little ears warm. Except it is long-ish for him. I probably could have decreased this by 3.
Though.
Yeah.
But
and he could wear it a little slouchy.
He wears it slouchy, and then he pulls it over his nose, and he thinks it's hilarious.
I'm sure. Right?
So,
he's that age. He's that age where that is hilarious. So
it's so nice. I love a hemmed hat.
Yeah, this was super easy. So I did, I think, all the notes are in my Ravelry. Amanda Turcott is my Ravelry name. And I'll put a link down there if you want to see what I did. But basically I did 15 rows, and then I did a purl row, and then another 15.
To make a nice turning edge. I love that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Did you sew it, or did you use a provisional?
I sewed it, because I don't mind.
Provisional. It's so seamless.
I don't mind sewing it. It took like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
But
I just like doing the provisional cast on.
I know, it is.
I did I did this on a little bit smaller needle, and then I went up a needle size and did the others. So, ta-da.
It looks great.
Nice. It's done. Do you want to see my next?
Yeah.
I'll talk about the one that I'm wearing.
Yeah.
So pretty.
I finished. This is not my sweater. I mean, I knit it. It's not a sweater for me though, but I'll wear it anyway because the child that it's for is about my size.
Perfect.
Yeah.
That's nice when that works out.
This is I brought the book. If I can find it in 2 seconds. 2 seconds. Okay, that was more than 2 seconds. All right. Here.
This is where it's handy that she edits.
Yeah, no, I won't edit it out. But this is from the very first Pom Pom. I love these. I collect them all and I keep them in my closet. And when I have, I got these skeins at Rhinebeck 2018. And it's just nice to, look through and get inspired by these. Because sometimes when I'm looking, I love the aesthetic that Pom Pom designers have.
Yeah.
When you find a magazine that you like that has, an aesthetic that jives with yours. It's just like, it's curated. So instead of going through the Ravelry 50,000 sweaters that use decay or whatever it is.
Even with certain attributes, you still have so many to look through. Yeah.
And if they don't do a ton in bulky and worsted, but if you have decay or fingering, they're really good. And this is a decay. This is the Netherton Pullover by Lydia Gluck, who's one of the editors of Pom Pom, incidentally. The cardigan was on the front of the very first cover, and then she, for the re-release of the first issue, she made this into a pullover. I'll stand
Super
up
cute.
really quick.
Yeah,
right?
so cute.
So it's a little crop sweater. It was made to have crop sleeves too.
I like the long sleeves.
But I put it on Lily, and she's like, I really want long sleeves. So I made them longer.
Yeah,
I didn't
I
make
like
them
it.
like this long.
I think
they're
wrist
just
length
like-
is perfect with the pattern. I think it,
Yeah.
it works nicely where the ribbing kind of hits your wrist and then pattern above that.
It's a little
Beautiful.
sophisticated, I think, with the slick
Yeah.
sleeves, right?
Yeah.
Not like
Bracelet
it was,
length.
Not sloppy length.
Yeah.
So you can show off.
But I like it.
Beautiful.
But it's
Very,
Lily's.
very nice.
I
I
told
love
her
the halo of the yarn. It works so nicely with it.
This, like I said, I got this yarn at Rhinebeck. It's a wool bunny
Angora.
Angora, yeah, blend from a farm up in Maine, who didn't put labels on their skeins.
Oh, wow.
Small makers.
Yeah. So, but I was thinking this morning, I think the Scout would work really well for this too.
Scout would be beautiful.
bet.
It's a DK, right?
Yeah, it is a decay, and I think even the Scout, because this has a halo, which sort of it makes these little lace bits a little watercolory. Like,
Yeah.
but
Little
the
black
Scout
Still
would,
can see the detail, but
Yeah.
it's halo-y at the same
Yeah.
time. It's nice.
but the Scout would pop a little bit even
Yeah.
more.
Scout
You
would be
see-
gorgeous.
Right.
Squish DK would be really pretty. The
You
spun
know
right
what,
round
even-
squish DK.
I think the Findlay would be cool. That
Oh,
would be like
the
a really
Findlay
That would
be
be
like
really
that would
nice.
be
so
You would really
so
see the.
elegant. It would be.
You would really see the.
Yeah.
Finley DK is 50 silk, 50 wool.
Yeah.
And has a beautiful sheen. That would be like the dressy sweater.
It would
Yeah,
be dressy.
absolutely.
I love that.
So it is fun how you can like play around with the whole feel of a sweater just by changing out the yarn. Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But when we got this, I threw about like 5 pom-poms at Lily, and I'm like, go through them, see what you like.
Pick one, kid.
Yeah.
I love it. It looks great. It's a great color on you.
Thanks.
Sorry, Lily.
It
I
is.
mean, not that. It's
Well, I
not
told her
also
if
a
I
great
like
color on Lily,
too.
but
I told her if I find it on the floor of her room, then it's mine back.
Yeah. That seemed totally fair.
Right?
A lot of hours went into that sweater.
She's like, I'm hanging it up.
all right.
This is a win-win either way for me. So
Everybody's good.
Yeah.
Everybody's good. And do you have anything else?
very last thing I have, Kathleen also has.
Yes.
So we'll do a nice segue here because I finished my Unity.
Oh, look at how pretty that
Beautiful.
gradient looks.
Right? I
Gorgeous.
love it.
Very nice.
You did blues and purples?
Yes.
Okay.
Which you named it.
Winter Nights.
Winter nights.
Yeah.
And we
was
still
like,
have like
do I
2
remember?
or 3 of those kits left, I think.
Okay.
The
Yeah.
Nights.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
down to like the last little bit. So if anybody falls in love with this,
And
Yeah.
how could you not?
And now you
It's
know
for
what
house.
the
Could you not?
surprise is.
Yeah.
yeah.
And I will say, like,
gonna drape
the
it.
kits, they come with all the little extras too. And if you were to buy, I don't think, and you've opened the box, so you know what's in there.
Yeah.
I don't think anything in there is stuff that you wouldn't use, even if you've got
Oh, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
full
Yeah.
notions kits and all that.
Yep.
I know at least one person who is not she's not a rectangle wrap kind of girl. She's more semi circular
Semicircle, yeah.
or or
Or a
an
triangle.
arc triangle.
Yeah.
But she's using all of the notions,
Look at
all of the
that.
kits, and all of the yarns.
Yeah,
And
she
just,
picked another
a different
pattern
pattern.
that needed mini skeins and everything.
Yeah. But retail price, I will say, the kits is less than you would pay if you got each of the items individually.
Absolutely.
Oh, it's
It is
100%.
quite a deal.
It is a deal.
All right, so
And a lot of
It's
fun.
a good segue.
here's
Not to
mine.
mention a lot of fun.
And I did the greens.
So pretty. Also so
I am-
pretty gradient.
Yeah.
Right? I love this.
And I
one.
did swap
love
out one
this
color, which I
design.
think is
Love
also
this
one of the fun things you can do with something
one.
like this.
She swapped
yeah.
this one. What was this color?
It was more of a turquoise. It was a little bright for me.
Oh,
I
it was
wanted
the bright
something a little-
turquoise.
It was the brighter
Yeah.
It was the
turquoise.
bright turquoise.
I think, didn't I go this one, then this one, then this one, then the turquoise was last?
Maybe. I didn't want the 2 multis next to each other, though. I wanted to... And that's the other thing. And we
Yeah.
had somebody else in here who bought the pink kit playing around with colors
Yeah.
the other day. Because, you do want to customize it a bit. So, but the
she was figuring like, you know what? I think I want to start here and then go to here. And
the fun thing with this though too, both of these fingerings are from Backyard Fiberworks. They were from I had this, and I didn't do it on purpose. I mean, I just looked. I'm like, all right, what do I have that that is going to be, a good segue from this to this that is a little more in the deep palette, and that happened to be the thing. So I really do like it.
This pattern is so gorgeous. This is Jen Weissman.
Yep. Our neighbor and friend of the store.
We love
She's in the next town over.
And had you used all of these bases before, or was this your first time knitting with somebody?
I definitely had used the knitted wit. I did start my project that I'm making with this, but it kind of got backburnered a little bit. So I stole yarn from a project that's not even done yet. But it's a very flexible shawl. It's 20 grams.
Yeah.
And the thing that I'm doing with it is 200 gram skeins, and basically you just go till you feel like you're done.
Okay.
So you'll just be done. I'll just run out of the solid a little sooner. And actually the funny thing with this is from Rhythm Knits.
Yes.
And I bought this exact skein.
So I have really?
Of course I did. That is such a me kind of color.
It is such a you color.
Yeah. So I have something picked out that I'm going to use that for already. So
it'll be coordinated.
I'm trying to alternate sweater and shawl right now, like big project, small project. So I have to get back to to those. But it's really fun and squishy. I've already worn it. This is like the third time I'm wearing it, I think.
I haven't worn mine. I blocked mine and I kept it like pristine and folded until our podcast today.
So pretty.
But I have never
really with the
I've never knit a scarf before, which I love wearing because this is my
you can wear it different ways.
Go-to under a coat. That's how I like to wear under a coat.
Yeah.
So now I'm super happy.
Now you're super happy you have one.
Yeah.
So what other finished objects do you have, Kathleen?
So the other finished object I have is
Look at this.
Saysha finished her brioche class on Monday night, her brioche 2, next steps in brioche, and we made the solstice hat. And I sadly was not able to come to the last class, but I finished this last night, and I'll go ahead and put it on.
It's so cute.
Yeah. I'm going to take up close pictures of this because you've got to see the detail on this brioche.
It's really fun.
So nice.
And Saysha took a bunch of pictures of the folks in her class.
Yes.
Oh,
and
perfect.
we should repost her Instagram post.
Which they're so gorgeous.
It's so fun and squishy. I love it.
Maybe I'll put a little gallery at the end.
That would be nice. Yeah.
Brioche.
Because she definitely has a whole bunch of fans now. Like there are people who took brioche 1 with her and then moved on, finished their project, moved on right away to this hat class, and the ones who can be there during the day have now signed up for the Willow Moon Cowl class.
Oh, I love it because her Willow Moon Cowl is so stunning.
Yeah.
And we have a class. She's teaching a class in how to make it.
Yay!
Yeah, and that starts. What is that? February.
And she had a lot of comments.
February.
It's
shopyarnia.com/classes.
I'll have a link below too.
And you'll see it.
It's on Wednesday mornings before the store opens. And it's a 3-session class.
Yep.
And you do need to have some brioche experience. Definitely want to do that. But, I think that's a really nice opportunity to get to work with the designer on her own project.
Yeah,
so
no one
and she's an excellent teacher. And also, she's just an excellent teacher.
She's I love
everyone. We definitely have to have her on soon. Yes. No, we do.
And we have to have Beth, and we have to we have to continue. We have a queue. We have a plan.
Beth and Vivian steeked their dudes. If you haven't seen it, I'll link to the Facebook post.
I was going to say, or do you want to put a little snip of that in?
I have to figure out how to export Facebook Live, which I don't know if I can do that. But it was a Facebook Live.
You can at least link to it if nothing else.
It might be on your phone. That's where I found mine.
Really? Your Facebook Live?
I think
when you're on your phone.
Mm-hmm.
As you're doing it. Yeah.
We'll
My
find
son
out.
Charlie, he makes hundreds of videos that are 1 second long.
Oh wow!
So my
kind of holds it up and just presses the button.
Yeah. So I have lots of videos on my phone, and I don't always see what's there.
Yeah,
you don't have to sort through. What yarn did you use for the solstice?
Yeah, let me take it off because it's a little warm in here. I'm getting a little hot. I used for the gray Mrs. Crosby steamer trunk, which is one of my favorite worsteds that we carry. It's so nice.
That's the Greystone?
Yep, Greystone colorway. Yeah. And then I used. This is actually Unicorn Nightmares in knitted wit worsted, which that's one of my favorite colors. That's what I'm going to do. Oh, we can talk about that.
We'll talk about that in a minute. In our new in store, we have a knit along coming up.
Mm-hmm. So, and I've got enough of the knitted wit to I think do another hat. So I'm going to find another color to do. It's so squishy and fun.
It's
it really
squishy.
is.
I mean, they'll take better clothes.
And the pattern name is Solstice, and the designer is Saysha Greene, Insatiableness on Ravelry and Instagram.
The colors of Unicorn Nightmares on the inside.
And you can see where I missed a stitch in my very first row that I noticed when I was...
See, everybody does it.
Yeah. So I will... Literally, that was
Totally.
like 5 minutes before we started podcasting, I noticed that. So
Everybody
that's why
does
it's on a stitch
it.
marker till I can attach it more permanently.
No one will know, and it will get fixed, and it'll be fine. I love the Unicorn Nightmares and Grey combo. I think it's beautiful.
It's funny. I had a hard time. This was like the third yarn that I chose to go with it. So if I do it with something else, I'm not sure what I'll do. Because it's kind of a mid-tone, but it's got lots of darks and lights in it, so it's hard to know what to...
The gray works perfectly.
Black.
Ooh, black
would be good.
That would make the colors and
that
white
would make
pop.
it really pop. Yeah, because there is a bit of black, but yeah.
I mean, you know me, I'm a big fan of them. Like, I can't figure out a color to pair it with. Let's go with gray.
Yeah, well, but
gray and rainbow. We're good.
So,
I'm getting warm in my...
Yeah. All right,
we can tell, like, the sun's coming up. We're good.
That is the end of my finished objects. Do you want to go on the needles?
Sure, we'll go to on the needles.
I can't believe we haven't run out yet. We haven't got to our half hour.
We're almost.
So I am working on La Dame de Fer, which is the
Lady of Fire.
Lady of Fire. It's the Eiffel Tower cardigan from I Knit Paris.
Lady of Iron?
Lady of Iron? Yeah, fair.
Fair, iron. Yeah,
fair.
That makes sense. Yeah.
I took French for a little bit, but she actually knows French.
Obviously not too well.
Clearly, but you know,
it's been a lot of years.
Still better than me. So this,
I randomly remember vocabulary from all different Romance languages, but I can't speak any of them.
Yeah. I've been saying it's been 10 years since I spoke French every day, but I think I've been saying that for 10 years.
You've been saying that for 10 years.
It's 20 years.
It's like, you know, what is it? 1990 was 20 years ago, and so is 1970.
Yeah, right.
Or no, 2000 was 20 years ago, and so is 1990.
Right.
Yes, accurate.
Or 1980 if you're a little older.
Or 1980.
So yeah.
So this is a fingering weight cardigan. I'm doing it in Backyard Fiberworks sock, and I actually got the yarn at the trunk show, and I got the books at the trunk show.
Yes, that was a great trunk show.
And so
that's
it's
from
like
I Knit Paris.
Kathleen Damas and Alice. What's Alice's last name again? Alice is the dyer of Backyard Fiberworks.
Alice.
Very sweet.
So it's a round yoke cardigan in fingering weight, which means I think I'm going to regret it after I divide for the sleeves and have so much purling of stockinette to do. But it'll be really pretty.
It'll be beautiful. And you know what? Maybe it's the kind of thing that you work on it for a month, you do a couple of other projects, you go back to it.
No, if I put this down, I'm never finishing it.
You just bring it to every knitting circle event. And just sit there and chit-chat.
Because I'm on the second increase round of the yoke, of which there are 4 increase rounds, and I'm at 307 stitches.
Ooh, yeah.
It'll be fine.
It'll be fine.
It'll be fine.
It'll be fine.
Don't
it probably will be fine. I need, basically once I'm done with the yoke patterning, it's like a basic top-down sweater. So I have no problem doing that. So it'll be good. That's why I can't put it down. And then
that's fair. And you know, it's one of those things. Know your own tendencies.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because for me, it would be better if I put it aside for a while because I'd start to resent it.
If I put it aside, it will never, ever be done, and it will go live with the silk tweed sweater that I started making my mother over 20 years ago.
And we don't want that. No,
Which I saw it the other day. Sorry, Mom. Still not done.
I'm not going to say anything about your Comfort Fade cardi.
And it won't be. Oh no, and the Comfort Fade cardi. No, that one I will come back to at some point. But like when I'm just
doing my next Comfort Fade cardi.
Sleeves.
There you go. I don't hate sleeves. I don't hate sleeves.
Me neither.
So annoying.
Especially when I finish them in 2 hours.
The body.
If I don't
that's a good segue. That's a good segue.
If I don't do it at the time, then I'm never doing it. You know what I mean? And then also this weekend is the first of the sweater classes, so I will be casting on.
Are you sold out?
I think we have 2 spots.
No, there's 1 spot. One of them is Shelby.
Oh, okay.
Hi, Shelby.
There is 1 spot left.
I think
you're seeing this on Friday.
Left. You might be able to sneak in.
And you might need to just call the store.
For sure. Yes.
Yeah.
Don't show up on Sunday.
I haven't been on my computer in a couple of days, so I need to go through and make sure the bookings are all transferred to the class rosters.
Double check.
Okay.
But yeah, so I think
there
might be 1
too.
spot left.
And you're doing
And we are doing Love Note
by Tin Can Knits.
By Tin Can Knits.
And you know what? The reason I asked you about what color you're doing, I talked you into the color I want to do. It's okay. I know what else I can do.
What's your other option?
I'm going to do Mad Tosh because I love the Rocinante so much. So I want to do something that's a little more. I'm going to grab what I think I'm going to do.
That'll be pretty in the Love Note too with little hearts.
Yeah,
that'll be perfect.
I think
I like that.
I'm either doing 11 Light.
I like 11 Light. Oh, I think
Or
this color will make another appearance later in the podcast.
Just a few moments.
Jupiter's Moon Callisto. Those are my two choices.
Oh,
I think those are both very.
Those are both
similar.
really. They're
And
similar.
they're similar, but I'm gonna. And
one
we have
is
enough.
more purple speckles, and one is more blue.
Right. This one has a
This
rose
one's got a little
base,
yellow
and
in
this
it.
one,
And it's got a little yellow, which is always. I like anything with the golds and yellows.
This was
Those
like
are really
Brioche.
nice. So, you know what? So actually, folks, if you have an opinion, if you see this quickly and have an opinion on which one I should do,
You
let
see
us
it
know.
before
Tell a
Sunday.
difference.
Yeah, if you can sell. Well, take a picture of them. Take
Okay.
a picture when we're finished.
Yeah.
And see, they are really
And
similar,
then you
but I
let
like both of them.
comment below and
Yeah.
let Kathleen know which one she should do before 11 a.m. on Sunday.
Well, maybe even because I need to swatch.
You do need
Ooh,
to swap.
Do you
sometime on
have
Saturday.
Tosh DK in any other color
Oh,
in
true.
your stash at home?
Yes.
Yeah, try swatching
Rocinante.
something else.
Yeah.
No, you're right.
There's
I
a
could do
real
that.
big swatch for you. The sweater
Yeah,
that you've already
exactly.
done.
Yeah, that's true. I know what I did for
Sometimes
that.
that works.
Pretty sure I
Sometimes
took
that
good notes.
So what do you have on the noodles, Amanda?
I have one. Well, I have at home. I am resolved. I did this last year too.
Yeah.
January comes. I look at. I'm like, I still have projects in bags, and I'm like, get them off, get them off, get them off. So that was like, I finished this. I did the 12 days.
You're wrapping them all up.
I have 6 squares left for my Afghan.
Wow, that's great.
Right, so that
That's a
Afghan
big
is
year-long
going to
project.
get done. Maybe not by the next podcast. Well, the squares will all get done
But then
within
you
the
gotta
next
join them
month.
and everything.
Yeah, but I don't mind joining. I like joining squares. That's a nice, like, while
It's
you're
a
watching
TV
TV
project.
Yeah,
Totally.
It's
Yeah.
nice. So yeah, it'll probably be done in a month, and then I'll bring it in, and it'll be huge, and it'll cover the whole screen.
Remember that hair?
Yeah, no, it will, because like projects that last too long get on my nerves. Like they need to get off.
You need to finish them. I get it.
Let's see. And then I have the sock on the needles. Whatever.
yeah,
That'll
I
get done. I turned the heel at a dinner. We went to a beefsteak for my kids' school on the weekend, and I took my sock to the beefsteak. And turned a heel. Turned a heel. So now, of course, in a sock, just doing the foot is it's a conference call project now.
Yeah.
So it'll get done in the next week. But my conference call project this week has been this thing.
It's so fun.
I
Oh my
love
goodness.
it.
So cool.
Oh my god.
I love it.
Okay. Yeah. So
So what's the yarn?
We're gonna talk about this. Well, I'll talk about it a little bit now because we don't have that much time. So, so Laura Jean texted us after
From Knitted Wit.
from Knitted Wet texted us as she was packing up her from Vogue Knitting Live and asked us, hey, do you guys need any more cotton candy?
Targy
Or
Bulky.
Targy Bulky, which
like,
was their
yes.
limited edition base, which we love. And I'm
So I was like, yes.
yes,
Yes.
they were
How
like,
are we going to make this happen?
Yes.
and
Yes, we do.
it happened, like I said, because that was why I was making Eric's hat, that we were going into, that my family was going into the city
I know,
that
the timing was
afternoon
so
to go see a
perfect.
Broadway show
With your car.
with our car, because we've,
People don't always do that. When you
Yeah.
live, for people who aren't in this area, when you live, an hour from New York City, you often take the train or the bus or something.
bus.
It's just
yeah,
easier.
I actually took the bus with my with most of the kids, the ones that went to see the show. But my husband was coming in with the baby because we stayed overnight just to have fun with the kids or whatever. And I told him, because we only had 6 tickets, and there's 8 of us, including the baby, who can't go to the show. So it was either my husband or I had to stay home or stay with the baby and then come to dinner afterwards. And I was like, babe, I'll let you go. You can go to the show if you really want us to go to the show. And he's like, honestly, there's a football game that starts at 3. And I'm like, okay, you just lost your ticket.
Sorry, dude, it's mine.
Yeah.
So he and the baby watched the...
He and the baby watched football and then drove into the city, but I texted Laura Jean and I'm like, hey, Jeff can drive through and pick up.
Windfall.
So we got some stuff, and it was sitting at my house for a couple days, and these 5 skeins were sitting at my house.
So fun.
They were begging me to make them into a sweater.
You just hopped directly on the needles.
They did. Well, not directly, because I didn't have a size 19 needle at my house.
19?
Yeah.
Wow.
Dang.
In fact, we only had one set of 19 double points at the store, and one circular needle.
Really?
19.
Wow. I'm surprised.
That was all that was on.
Now we know what to reorder.
We're going to reorder.
Yeah, we do.
I'm sure, because I just used them. But this is ØNSKE. It's a pattern by Olga Jazzy, or what's her full name? Olga Buraya-Kefelian. Olga Buraya-Kefelian, or Olga Jazzy is her store name, or her designing name.
So fun.
And yeah, it's just a top down. So it's really soft. Like, there's 0 prickles. This is super
yes.
Love
the
it.
cotton
It's
candy is
so squishy.
Let's see if I can. So
it's my pillow
this is 5
now.
skeins of cotton candy.
This is 5 skeins, yeah, and I'm making
love
the 38-inch bust size.
So fun.
So yeah, it goes up to like a, I want to say close to 50-inch bust, but it doesn't go further than that. I was thinking about it, like, why don't they make it, these increases, right? You can only increase so much in the spacing of
It
them.
changes your rate of increase.
Right.
Like, to do the yoke.
If you made it bigger,
You can do it.
You can, yeah. Jen can figure out the math. I don't know how to do that.
I can figure out the math for myself.
Yes. But one thing that we did was figure out, because I was making stripes. I was here at the store on Saturday and making stripes and figuring out how do you calculate how many rounds to do of each stripe so that you still have enough
for your sleeves.
yarn for your sleeves. So I did the math on that by weighing the yarn. Actually, I have like a. So I figured out how to do the math, and this is what I did. Susan was here, and she's like, well, you can swatch and then calculate how big your swatch is, and then see how big your square needs to be, and
I would just do the number of stitches, right? Did you
exactly?
Basically, yeah,
That's what. So
they're such big stitches.
I weighed it at the beginning of one round and at the end of the round, which was 5 grams.
Okay.
And I knew how many stitches there were around the
get
middle.
Out of 5 grams, yeah.
Right, and then so I knew how many stitches there were around the
So you're
arms.
like, 100 stitches is 5 grams of yarn.
Yep. And then another 40 stitches, right, or whatever, would be. So then that means to do one whole round of the arms plus the middle is 140 stitches divided by 100. Anyway, the division is there. The math is in my Ravelry.
Cool.
And I figured out that I could do 11 rows of each color to do this and be just fine.
And it's a great length.
Yeah, it is. It's good. It hits like just below my hips, which is nice.
So cute.
But
It's
anyway,
really
It's
fun.
so
I'll probably.
squishy. It's like
I know.
I finished this whole sleeve on a 2-hour conference call yesterday, so you won't get bored with these sleeves.
super bulky, man.
Yeah, it's really nice.
So that's cotton candy.
This is cotton candy. Yeah, and we don't have any more of all these brights.
I bought one of the habaneros too, of course.
We have some of the brights left, but not all of them.
Oh no, and there is one here. That's
Yeah.
it. So you got one, I got one, we've got one left
neons.
in the store.
We have a few of the
green.
neons. We have the green. Yeah.
But this
somebody
is also,
came in and bought the yellow. They were like, "That's my son's favorite color. I'm taking."
And I saw somebody bought the blue
Yeah.
too. Yeah.
This is a great way to, if you only have like one skein of like a color that you love, to kind of stretch it and extend it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, actually it would be
is
fun.
to stripe it and big chunky stripes. Like find something else that works with it.
Or you could tip it. You could do the cups
Yeah.
and the,
That
cups
would be
and the
cool.
bottom ribbon.
Adorable.
That would be fun.
Like you could do like gray and then tip with like the neon.
Yeah.
Right?
That would be super nice.
Gorgeous.
That'd be fun.
But anyway, so next podcast you might need to wear your sunglasses.
Little bright.
It's
Yeah.
so
Little bright.
cool.
I love it. Well, and that actually is, do we want to talk about, we have a bulky sweater knit along that's coming up in February.
You know what? Why don't we wait and talk when we do that?
Okay.
Okay. Do you have any other?
That's all that's on my needles for real. Like I have.
Other than plans.
I have Jen can see my sticky notes here. It says plans, and I have
Just
1, 2,
plans.
3, 4,
Oh,
5,
so many
6
plans, right?
that I'm starting after I finish what I'm.
Ooh, look
I can
at your
do my
pretty thing.
Too quick on the needles, and then we can talk about new in store, and then we can open the store.
Yeah. It will open.
So I am doing the Magnolia cardigan by Camilla Vad, and I have divider for the sleeves.
So
Yay!
pretty.
And I love to actually put my sleeves on other I use the Leica needles, and I like to do them on the cords. I like to do the 16-inch cords for the sleeves.
All you have to do is just screw the tips on?
Not at home yesterday when I was doing this, so I put it on waste yarn like everyone else. It's okay. I'll get over it. You know, I probably will ultimately transfer them to that.
I was going to say, why not just transfer
exactly.
them?
I will at some point.
It looks great.
I love this.
I'm really happy with it. You know, it is funny.
Kelborn Woolen's Lucky Tweed.
In the
one of my
tomato.
plans is a Felix in this yarn.
Yeah.
That's going to be really pretty.
So that is that. And I'm making it a little bit longer. You're actually supposed to start, and I don't know, was yours like this too for the pullover? You're supposed to start the pattern, the chart, as soon as you...
It's a 6.1-inch high lace pattern plus ribbing. So you really want to double check.
I did,
exactly how long you want it.
Based on my row gauge for this, it should be 9.5 inches between the pattern and the ribbing, and I want it to be 13 inches altogether. So I'm doing 3.5 inches before I start the lace.
There you go.
And then I should hit exactly where I want to.
Yeah.
And I don't.
That
know
was the method that I had to do,
sleeves
especially on my sleeves, which I wanted my sleeves shorter, which essentially meant like I divided for the sleeves, and then like after an inch I started the pattern because it is that long of a pattern. Yeah. Do you have anything else on the needles?
I do have something else on the needles, and this is kind of barely on the needles, but I thought I'd talk about it because I have a tip for
I have another
mittens.
thing I need to mention before we do new instruction.
Yeah. So this is the beginning of Selbu mittens, and we were talking about Deep Stash and Lopi, and we are considering restocking Lopi. We used to, and we've all been using it, so we might actually, or some of us have been using it.
It's so nice.
So one thing, and it's funny, the reason I'm back at this point, which is really just like one row past the ribbing on these mittens, and I played around. I do love tipping things, so I did.
Tipping too. It's such a nice.
It's just a nice little detail. I mean, this basically, the design has one row of your accent color kind of 2/3 of the way up. I don't know. I like tipping. I sort of tipped the ribbing on either end and just did the rest of it in the main color. But one thing I didn't do the day I started working on these was what I usually do when I'm doing something like this. I always work magic loop for something like this. I'm the captain of Team Magic Loop. I am not a DPNer. I love my DPNers. I got 2 of them right here, but it's not me. So one thing I do though, doing magic loop for these, I normally take the chart and fold it in half at the point where my stitches are divided for magic loop.
So you only have to pay attention.
I'm only looking at half of the chart at a time.
Don't show your charts.
And well, I mean, they're not going to be able to do anything with it from here.
You guys are tech awesome, so you never know what people
buy the pattern. Buy the pattern.
Always buy the pattern because someone has put a lot of time, energy, and heart into it, and they deserve to be paid for their work.
But it is really a handy thing where you only need to look at half of the chart at a time, number one, and you know what you should be doing. So I didn't do that, and I realized when I was about 6 rows in that in the first row I was off by 2 stitches.
Oh no!
And so it wasn't worth trying to come back for, and I just took the needles out, frogged it, and I'm gonna now do my own tip, which I usually always do.
Sometimes the hardest thing to do is to remember what you tell other people to do.
Exactly.
And then follow through with it.
Yep. So that is it for my active on the needles, and hopefully these should be done by next time.
One thing I just want to add real quick.
Yeah.
Speaking of not Norwegian color. Yes. Not Norwegian
Northern European?
Northern European color. Yes. My Damejakka Loppa is on the needles.
Oh, yay.
Right, but I mean, it's just swatched on the needles. It's not really on the needles. My swatch is here. But I wanted to say, so I'm doing this sweater. Beth is picked out her colors for this sweater.
Associate in the store.
It's so awesome.
Evelyn, our instructor, who is going to teach the class.
And we have another customer who's doing this sweater. It's probably going to take a couple months, maybe 3, to do the sweater.
It's fingering.
It's a fingering colorwork sweater.
It's fingering, but it goes pretty fast. It's got the fleeves. It's fun.
There's always something to do.
Yeah, I do feel like sometimes colorwork is faster because you've got that. You never get to the point of it being like mindless and monotonous.
Right.
You're always doing something.
You don't get stuck on the stockinette of a fingering like cardigan.
Yep. Yeah. But what I wanted to mention is if anybody wants to knit along with us.
Yes.
So I might even open up a thread in our Ravelry
That's a good idea.
for knitting along.
Do that. Even if it's just the 4 of you, go ahead and post things.
If anybody else, because
jump on if you're interested.
The thing is, we don't have enough in stock of like my background color and the color that Beth wants to use. So we are placing an order before we start. Yep. So we'll probably start beginning of March-ish, and I am placing an order on Friday, February the 7th. If you want to do this, come in the store.
Or call us.
Or call us.
Yep. When we're open.
Email.
Yep. And we can ship too. That would be fine. But yeah, call, email. I'll put contact information. And let us know. Because after I place the order, I won't be placing another one for a while.
Well, unless somebody wants to order a whole bag.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Yeah. Unless it's a special order.
Right.
But in terms of talking about
it's much easier than to jump on one that we were already doing. It would be greatly
appreciated if you want to order it when I'm ordering.
Yes.
So think about it and then let Amanda know, or come into the store and pick your colors, because that is such a cute cardigan. We are also doing a February bulky sweater knit along because partially our windfall of knitted
It's a windfall. We got super lucky.
We've been talking about this, and a lot of people
we've been talking about it for a while since the trunk show.
The Targy Bulky when we had the trunk show in October. It was right before Rhinebeck.
This is Targy Bulky from Knitted Wit, which is our new one of our things new in store. This one is Kelp Cake, and I love it.
It's not worsted. It's a little bit heavier than worsted.
It's a little bit heavier than worsted. And a lot of folks, myself included, are going to be making the Ursa minor sweater, or
I'm making Metropolis.
Ursa. Amanda's going to make a Metropolis. Yeah. But we figured February is a short month.
Yes.
Good time to make a short
Let's make a bulky sweater.
Yep. This podcast is coming out on the 31st. We'll open a thread on the 1st.
And actually now we are supposed to be open, so the people that are calling should be answered.
Yep.
Still not quite, but...
All right.
Let's go quick.
Yes.
You got it. I pressed it once. It's not cooperating. All right, and then here is more of the Knitted Wit.
Also new in store.
We talked about, this is the same yarn that I'm using for my awesome sweater.
And it would be so fun to do a black to gray to white fade. The same
Oh my gosh, that would be so cool.
You could have a
black, white, and gray
stripe.
Yeah.
Totally.
We've now got multiple people waiting to come into the store. One last quick thing is sixlets.
We have
also,
sixlets.
which we should throw in the newsletter next week too, if we can.
Sixlets of the Knitted Wit minis,
which would be perfect to make.
One of these preset kits plus a skein of fingering
by Shannon Squire.
You make a rainbow boomerang by Shannon Squire, or anything that requires mini skeins. Yes. Or you could do adorable little socks, stripy socks.
That would be so cute.
Throw me the pink ones because that's like Valentine's Day.
Oh yeah,
there's that. And
gorgeous.
And then there's a fun rainbowy kind of set.
Yep,
we love it. Oranges, couple of greens.
Some of them are gradients. Some of them have coordinating colors. So
mix and match. We can put together our own, but. Okay. You know what? These are awesome. I love Knitted Wit. They're such lovely folks.
They're the best. Lovely team.
And now we have to do our job.
Now we have to do our actual job. The story's ready to
open and let people in and answer the phone.
Until next time, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe and follow us online on shopyarnia.com. You can sign up for our newsletter all the way at the bottom, and you'll get an info every week about what's new in store, what's going on, all kinds of classes and stuff. Don't forget to follow us on Ravelry, Shop Yarnia, Instagram, Shop Yarnia, Facebook, Yarnia
My Instagram
LLC.
game has been terrible this month, but it will get better.
It'll get better.
February resolution. It's a thing.
Yeah. And in the meantime, have a great time. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Knit and crochet.
Hi, and welcome to Chronicles of Yarnia. My name's Amanda, and I'm your host today because Kathleen and Jen are not here yet. Just kidding. I'm going to wait for them. You know what would be really nice? If you subscribed down below. Clicky, clicky.